say what you just said off the air about an invitation for guys to actually call Let's Get Real.
So if you're listening and you're on the fence about calling, or you just feel like you just feel deflated and you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe there's some hopelessness in there, I would like to extend an invitation to you and tell you that I promise you, whatever it is that you're going through right now, you can make it through. You're much stronger than you have any idea of. And I can say that with confidence because of the things that I've gone through and the things that Michael has gone through. If we can survive those things, we promise you can survive yours. So just give us a chance. Give us a call. I bet you we can help you find your inner power.
And we're not doctors.
We are not.
We're not therapists.
No.
You have a very spiritual lean. I tend to have a little bit more of a tactical coach lean from years and years of coaching people. And I think between the two of that, if nothing else, we just listen.
Yeah, we definitely are great listeners. You especially. So, yeah, we definitely listen.
I like that, man. I like the way that you phrase that. So our phone number, 1-800-771-1025. I'd love to hear from you, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through. Something we were talking about last break that is like, I found myself, I went on Facebook, and I don't even know why. It was weird.
That is weird.
I was like, why am I even on Facebook? And I found this post of some blue hair, liberal, overweight lesbian, probably, was just like, I can't believe you people, like, here we are, it's January. It's like, I can't believe you people didn't vote for Kamala, and you people voted for Trump, and it's all your fault, and smash the patriarchy or whatever the hell it is. And I started reading those comments. And since we're just two dudes talking about our feelings, I could feel this just anger and what an idiot. And I it was like I was having an out-of-body experience. I almost went to comment on this, and I stopped myself, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Literally, what are you doing? Because I will sit there, and my wife is really bad about this. She'll because you, me, her, we're all 100% aligned on what we believe, the conspiracies and all of this. And it's just like, she'll go on and she'll comment on these people. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're using the comment section on Facebook to try to change somebody's mind. That's never going to work.
Never.
And then you just become another voice. And she's like, but that son of a bitch was doing this thing and saying this thing. And I'm like, you got to let it go. And there I was Tuesday, on my phone, feeling the same thing.
Isn't it interesting how
did I get here?
So it kind of goes back to the demonic possession conversation we were having at coffee, which is, take away the whole demonic possession verbiage. But what is happening is, in my opinion, you're putting out this energy output, right? This vibrational frequency pretty regularly, just baseline of who you are, which, you're very easygoing, relaxed. Not a lot gets you wound up. So what ends up happening is when you get into that other mode and you start putting that vibrational frequency out into the universe, it's almost like now you've given the universe a taste of juice it hasn't had before from you. So it's going to crank it up on you so that it can get the most out of you and that experience. It's so opposite to what you're normally putting out. And in doing so, you can have, I know people, myself personally, where it's almost, weeks could have gone by, and it's almost like coming out of a mushroom trip where the weeks have gone by, and then I come to and I have this moment of sobriety where I'm like, what have I been doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember in college, there was a couple weeks where for no reason, I was picking fights with some of my closest friends for weeks. And then one day I woke up and I was like, what am I doing? Yeah, that's so opposite of who I am. And then you talk to these people and they're like, yeah, it was like you were a totally different person. I believe it's the universe squeezing some juice out of you that it hadn't had before. And then when it gets a taste, it's going to really squeeze and squeeze and squeeze.
If you believe, with you, community, etc., like I believe, and I know you do believe this, so it's worth saying out loud, is that if what we're really doing here as human beings walking around on this rock for 60, 70, 80 years is just an expression of the universe living through you. So to your point, if the universe is like, ooh, there's a vibration we haven't experienced with Michael or with Anthony, let's do that for a while. Because the universe doesn't think right or wrong, good or bad. Those are constructs that we create as humans. So it's just like, ooh, that's fun. And then, to your point, if that energy matches that, then it just becomes this like cavalcade of emotions where you're like, who am I? Who am I right now? This is not me. That's how I felt in that split second. And I just need to, I genuinely think that like Facebook is the worst.
Dude, not only do I agree, it's been nice not being on social media as much.
I'm gonna delete it right now,
dude. It's been interesting and it's been nice. It's a little reset, I guess you could call it. But it is so like there's so many layers to go into. The first one that is such a pain in the ass to deal with is when you're faced with a moment like that. It's I'm always like, okay, so I hate when I am that person. But now I have to learn how to love that side of me because it is just as much a part of me as the yes man side of me. So now I'm sitting there going, I hate that I want to comment on people's comments on Instagram. And now I'm sitting there upset with myself because I have to love myself for wanting to comment. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like this weird thing that happens. But to your point, I think that's the only way for the universe to kind of, kick you in the ass and be like, this is it. This is exactly what I made this whole functioning system for, is to make you stop and go, oh my God, there is some higher power that I am in tune with. And the universe goes, yes, my precious, my precious.
If that's true, and I believe it to be true, then the opposite is true.
Yeah.
That if you can vibrate at a high frequency and you can be, and thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for saying these words out loud because it's like words to live by. If you can truly be open to everything and attached to nothing, if you can truly have that, like, hey, you know what? If I can vibrate at the, like, I want to post on this comment that Kamala was not a good choice and like get in this political fight with a blue-haired liberal. It's like, well, if I can feel that, I can also feel the complete opposite end, a super high vibration where everything's great.
Yeah. Where
there is a massive amount of abundance coming in forms, whether it be love or money or whatever. And I can operate in that space. And I would genuinely like to hold that as long as possible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I said at the beginning of the show today. My only goal for today is, because I love this, is just to be present right now, to feel it right now, to feel this conversation. Like, you and I have started this thing that we've been doing since the beginning of the year, or maybe even the last year, where we don't really prepare for the show.
We don't. It's very interesting.
It's like, let's just start talking.
Yeah.
Let's just start talking and see where it goes.
I love it.
Let's just see what phone calls come. Let's just see what things, and as opposed to, hey, let's talk about these 10 things today. Now, do I have a couple things? I'd actually like to dive into the Dunning-Kruger effect here.
I would love to hear about the Dunning-Kruger effect.
So you don't know what that is?
I don't. But before we do,
I'm not going into it until like next break or the one after that.
Okay, good, because I want to tell you something that I've been waiting to tell you, and this is the perfect moment.
All right.
So I believe there's a word for it in the Hindu belief system, Maya. They call it Maya. So Maya is the understanding that this is all an illusion, all of it. And the more you sit with the feeling of this is all an illusion, coupled with that expression of the universe, it makes life really interesting at times, because you're just sitting there in these moments that seem to be really either high stress or highly emotional, and you take a step back and you go, oh, this is all just made up illusionary. Like, I don't have to actually feel what this person is projecting onto me. I can perceive whatever I want, making all of this my own illusion that I get to live throughout my entire life. And then you couple that with that's what the universe is doing. The universe is simply creating an illusion to have fun with itself over and over again. But we just perceive it as crappy.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
That is a lot. Holy crap.
I know. The thoughts in here, man, in my head,